Revolution by Cameron Johnson. Thesis: the Argentine independence movement was mostly successful in creating a new nation of liberty, equality, and fraternity. While Argentina's independence movement gave them independence from Spain as well as a booming economy, it came with corruption and unfair political gain. Here is a regional map of Argentina. As you can see, Argentina lies in the southern part of South America and to the east of Chile. With a length of over 2,200 miles and a width of 889 miles, Argentina is the second largest country in South America. Here is a political map of Argentina. Here we can see the several different political provinces as illustrated by the different colors. Argentina is separated into 23 different provinces, which all have representation in their elections. Here we can see a global map of Argentina, as well as its reliance on Spain. From 1516 to around 1816, Argentina was ruled by Spain. The Spanish rule came with strict policy, which prevented Argentina from partaking in global trade, restricting trade to only Spain. This had a largely negative effect on the economy. The Spanish also governed the Argentinian political system, influenced who ruled and who had the power. Spanish laws had to be followed, and strict punishments came if these laws were to be broken. Although being tied to Spain had its drawbacks, there were some benefits. Spain provided Argentina with supreme military support and protection from enemies. Without Spain, Argentina would be easily invaded. As Argentina gains confidence, its need for Spain is questioned. In August of 1806, British forces attacked Argentina through Buenos Aires, part of the Reconquista and Defensa Wars. This came with a large death toll, however, and ultimately led to the British surrendering. With this surrender came a huge boost in confidence and morale in Argentinian society, and Argentinians began to question whether their reliance on Spain was necessary. If they could fend off the British, they believed that they could hold their own against pretty much anyone. Here is a map of pre-revolutionary Argentina. Here you can see that the landmass was unchanged from then to now. However, back then, mostly all of the cities were focused near the ocean to maximize what trade could take place. After a buildup of confidence, morale, and tension with Spain, an independence movement began to pick up steam. With the weakening of Spain due to several invasions, an opening was created for Argentina to become independent. While many officials were for the idea of independence, many Spanish royalists were strongly opposed to the idea. Because many of the authoritative positions within the Argentinian political structure were chosen by the Spanish monarchy, loyalty to Spain was strong, and the opposition was met with violence from the government. This created a society where most of the citizens were in favor of independence, but some high-ranking officials and royalists were strongly opposed to it. This divide eventually led to the Argentine War of Independence. The ideals of this independence movement, which fueled the war, were to establish independence from Spain, to remove tariffs and open up Argentina to the global trade market, to establish a sovereign political system, to establish a functional society economically, politically, and socially, and to establish a republican government which reflected the voice of the people, prevented tyranny, and gave equal opportunity to its people. The War for Independence lasted almost 5 years, from 1810 to late 1814, when the last of the royalists were killed. At last, the Argentinians had won the fight for their freedom and could officially commence the creation of the new nation. Argentina now had to figure out how they were going to rebuild this broken nation. After a period of about 35 years of relatively peaceful and functional society, Argentinian officials meet together to form an official constitution. In May of 1853, the Argentine Constitution was officially put into effect, whose contents were directly influenced by the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution included a Bill of Rights, morals, ethics, laws over security and property, as well as guarantees for every citizen of Argentina. With the creation of the Constitution, a question arises. Was this Constitution a blueprint for success post-revolutionary? Was this Constitution a blueprint for a successful post-revolutionary nation, or was it a list of empty ideals? Well, in the coming years, these ideals were put into place and enforced. Argentina's economic growth exploded, and political tension was easing up. With a less strict political structure, Argentina became a trade depot for the rest of the world, where natural resources could be shipped around the world. This increase in economic activity leads us to believe that these ideals were actually taking place and that the Argentinian independence was pretty successful after all, and that the Constitution kickstarted a successful nation in the making. As Argentina became more stable, the rich and fertile land of the north was exploited. Here, cattle, lumber, and cash crops could be grown, raised, and harvested, boosting Argentina's economy even more. This exploitation of land put Argentina on the map as a global trade force. This created an abundance of cash flowing into Argentina, which fueled some corruption. Political officials began to allocate land to farmers and businessmen through under-the-table deals, where the politicians would take a cut of the profits in return for allocating the land. This corruption led to some political instability, where some politicians were getting paid illegally while others weren't. These natural resources, in absence of Spanish tax, allowed Argentina to grow exponentially. So, were the ideals of the Argentine Revolution achieved? In my eyes, the ideals of the Argentine Revolution were achieved somewhat. While a republican government was formed and independence from Spain was achieved, along with a great economic boom, equal opportunity was not achieved, as some politicians were corrupted and took advantage of lax corruption laws, leaving some farmers and politicians in the dust. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Argentine independence movement was mostly successful. While it created a sovereign country as well as a stable government and economy, it fueled corruption and unfair economic gain.